In the letter U, I talked about a number of things, including an instrument called the ukulele, of which I've always been very fond. Some of you may know George Harrison was an excellent ukulele player. Paul McCartney plays the ukulele, and so do I. So did my father, actually. And we all idolized this guy called George Formby, and who was a great ukulele player in England, worth looking up. When I'm Cleaning Windows being his biggest hit. Anyway, I was looking at the website for this bookshop and looking up, saw my event, and I noticed that there was some ukulele event happening at the same time. And so I went, ukuleles? My people, are they going to be there? And someone said yes. So I would like now, if I may, to invite the band of ukuleles who are sharing this evening with us to come up. We thought we would do a song together with massed ukuleles, if we may. Now, I'll explain one thing. We're going to do a song. You know, the ukulele was very much a music hall influence, instrument. And music hall in Britain was kind of like vaudeville here. You know, it's sort of silly songs with a little double entendre to them, that kind of thing. And we love those sort of songs. So music hall had quite an influence on the Beatles as well. Let's not forget things like Honey Pie and When I'm 64, very musical flavored songs. Herman's Hermits did some actual musical songs and had hits. And Peter and Gordon were no exception to this rule, because we did a couple of songs that were very musical flavored. And we did one song that did use a ukulele. And when I do it on stage, I play it on the ukulele. It's a song you might remember conceivably called Lady Godiva. Now, it was a very silly song. It was written by an Englishman, a guy called Mike Leander. And again, I'm going to give you a little bit of a footnote here, because for any Beatle fans, the one interesting fact is Mike Leander wrote Lady Godiva, but he also was the guy who wrote the string arrangement for She's Leaving Home, which you will remember is sublimely beautiful. It's the only string arrangement that George Martin did not write, that the Beatles ever did. Paul wanted a string arrangement, George couldn't do it. Paul just said, well, I'll get somebody else, because George was busy. George Martin was quite annoyed about that. But he thought Paul would wait for him. But Paul got Mike Leander to write it, and if you remember that arrangement, it's gorgeous. So evidently, Mike Leander was capable of writing something as sublime and beautiful as She's Leaving Home, and as something as entirely ridiculous as Lady Godiva. Now, do I have an instrument? Anybody have it? Oh, right here. Can I borrow a tune up for a second? Thank you so much. We're going to do it in just a minute. Ukuleles are famous for not staying in. Yeah, it's way sharp. Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to do Lady Godiva for you. This is a global first. Because we have never done it with this many ukuleles. I've never done it with more than one, let alone, I think we have about 25. So I'd like to thank them all so much for coming. This is fantastic. It's a total thrill to me. Now, one of the other features of music hall that's fun, of course, is if you can make it a bit of a sing-along. Now, I don't expect any of you to necessarily remember the lyrics of Lady Godiva from beginning to end. I sometimes have some difficulty doing that myself. But I would like it when we get to the actual name of her ladyship, when we get to the words Lady Godiva, you'll feel the lyrics heading inexorably towards that moment. And I urge you all to sing along vigorously. Sing, shout, yell the words Lady Godiva when that happens. And gentlemen, you may find it useful when you do so to give it a little bit of extra vim and vigor to remember what the song is actually about, which is a naked woman on a horse. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 17, a beauty queen. She made a ride that caused a scene in the town. Her long blonde hair hanging down around her knees. All the cats who do striptease, praying for a little breeze. Her long blonde hair falling down across her arms, hiding all the ladies' charms. Hey, 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 everybody please. Lady Godiva. She found fame and made her name. A Hollywood director came into town and said to her, how'd you like to be a star? You're a girl who could go far, especially dressed the way you are. She smiled at him, gave her pretty head a shake. That was Lady G's mistake. Hey, 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 Lady Godiva. He directs Certificate X, and people now are craning their necks to see her. 'Cause she's a star, one that everybody knows. Finished with the striptease shows, now she can afford her clothes. Her long blonde hair lying on the barber's floor. She doesn't need it long anymore. And a big long stretched out one for the end. Lady Godiva. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Big, huge thank you to the unlikely Strummers for joining us today.